And Atiku, such a man, can never be president of Nigeria.
I notice people don't talk much about Atiku.
People are afraid because as I'm talking now, he has the means to take me to court. But like I said, I don't care. You take me to court, let them jail me now. I will die there. What years have I left? Atiku is not fit to rule Nigeria. We serve in the same organization and rose to the same rank in this country. He's not a fit man to. You know why? Atiku knew after he's a Fulani man, after the 8 years of Buhari, and he saw what Nigeria was facing in the hands of Fulani elements, and he still want to come to become the president of Nigeria in another 8 years. Is that a reasonable man? Especially when it was the turn of the South. And his bulk of support comes from the Southeast. And there was Peter Obi coming from the Southeast. Atiku won't let him contest as a president. Is that a human being? Now, Tinubu has just done, after Buhari's 8 years, Tinubu is just about to do 1 year. And Atiku want to take it away from him and goes back to Fulani. Nigeria will, even Hausas will be stupid to return to vote for anybody Atiku. Of course, in the South here, there are people who are just going after him opportunity just in case. They all knew in their heart of hearts that there's no room for Atiku to be president of Nigeria. Even at his age, should be ashamed of himself that he still want to. What education has Atiku? What has he done in the private sector that qualifies him? What did he do as vice president to qualify him to run for president? Is he not the one in charge of privatization under Obasanjo? That sold multi-billion naira enterprises for a chicken change to his cronies? Atiku has ruined Nigeria much more than any leader in recent memory, in all memories. He has nothing to present to Nigeria. Is that not the same Atiku? When an innocent girl was set ablaze alive in Sokoto, he released a tweet. And the moment his thugs, those who murder people on the street, criticized it, he quickly withdrew it and denied ownership. Is that the person who wants to rule Nigeria? He may pick a reverend father from the South. Atiku cannot rule Nigeria because he has nothing. He has no qualification of any kind. He has no achievement of any kind. He has nothing. He has no ideology of any kind other than he is broke. And somebody with how many wives? They said, somebody allegedly said he has so many wives at 25. They are all broke and he wants to rule Nigeria to recuperate, to do worse than he did under Obasanjo. Atiku cannot be president. And he is not a just man. After 8 years of a Fulani man, Atiku wanted to rule for 8 years. Now after 3 years of a Yoruba man, Atiku still wants to rule. And he knows that there is no Southeasterners who has ruled Nigeria. Is that a leader? Any leader who cannot reason, who has no sense of justice, who has no sense of sacrifice, can never be a leader in Nigeria, in anywhere in the world. Atiku can never be president of Nigeria. If he becomes one, that will mark the end of Nigeria as we know it.
Okay, everybody settle down. Court is in session, you punk-ass Nigerians. I saw a write-up today. Only Atiku can defeat Tinubu. Atiku is as old as dirt. In 1975, when I was a draftsman at Ministry of Mines and Power in Kaduna, Independence Way, Kaduna, opposite the old General Hospital, near the old Kaduna Stadium. 1975, I was a draftsman there. The Minister of Mines and Power then was, I believe, Ali Monguno. Atiku was already a controller in customs. The man, I'm 70 years old. That motherfucker is as old as dirt. You want to make him president of Nigeria. And he will spend the 3 of the first 4 years in hospital in Dubai. Because look at his fat stomach. He can't tie his shoes. He's going to be there only to steal from you. When has Fulani been gracious to Hausa? You Hausa, back with the Kwakwalua, Yambura Uwa, you are going to elect Atiku Abubakar, a proven thief, a Fulani. Just being Fulani disqualifies him because Fulani has never been justiciable to to Hausa. And many Zakuchi Dusa and Durun Uwa, since you don't know. When has Fulani been gracious to Hausa? When? Isa Ali Farfesa Isa Ali Pantami. What do Nigerian professors do? And let me tell you this, you goddamn motherfuckers. Look up Symbiosis Capital Management. That is my son's fund. He has added 10 years onto the lifespan of mankind in terms of the work he does over the nearly 30 pharmaceutical companies that he leads. He's the #1 individual who has been using AI to repurpose existing medicines and make new drugs. That is learning. He's in the top 0.1% of intellectuals in the world. He's evil, but you don't hear about him. Motherfucker, if you have an iPhone in your hand, thank my son Body Ugumba, head of signals at Apple. No Apple product goes off if he doesn't sign off. He's an electrical engineer. He's a Farfesa Ali Pantami. All the bullshit that Nigeria does. Bullshit Nigeria. You act up like as if you have no sense. You are trying to vote a man who's almost 90 years old to be president of Nigeria. And you wonder why your life, you wonder who Hausa what why meyesa kuna chindusa kuna sallallahu alaihi wasallam who that does not bring shit to you, don't do shit to you, don't do nothing to you. Like here that you don't even know where it is, what it is. You are following Larabawa. Get the fuck out of my page.
But also let me focus on Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar has been contesting the presidency since 1992. Indeed, there is really no election since 1992 that he has not participated in. He ran against Abiola. In 1999, he ran first as governor, then as vice president. In 2003, he picked a form. And that was a crisis, that was what led to the crisis between him and Obasanjo. 2007, he ran, I think he ran on AD or so. 11, he ran, came back to PDP, right? He ran, was it 11? He ran in 11 against Jonathan. 15, he ran. 19, he ran. 23, he wants to run. Now only you did. A time comes when you look at it and say, it's enough. Let me be a kingmaker rather than this king. Because when people tell me that they heard from God, I've never heard from God. But you see signs of where he wants you to go. And if you keep on doing one thing or the same thing over and over again and it's not happening, then God is not with you. Leave this Abraham Lincoln story that he ran many times before he got it. He ran only 2 times and he got it. Right? So it's becoming ridiculous. And again, and this is why I respect people who say that, look, we all want the same thing. What the North wants is not different from what the South wants. Right? But we all want a sense of belonging. That is the commonality between us. How do you justify, or how do we justify to our children that after 8 years of Northern leadership, we go back and have another 8 years? Ordinarily, I'm not a proponent of zoning and stuff like that, but I'm a proponent of equity. And that takes to me precedence to zoning. But even beyond that, our country is in a very desperate situation today. And you need a leader that is formidable, a leader that can make things right. Not the pandering that goes on here today. What we have in Nigeria is a very disgraceful leadership. I spoke to a president of one of the West African countries, and he said to me that the problem with West Africa, and indeed the problem with Africa, is that Nigeria is nowhere to be found. This is the general sentiment. Nigeria is nowhere to be found. We're 5th the population of the continent. We are by far the most outstanding nation of the continent. But when they look, there's just nobody. This is the time to stand firm, because too much nonsense has gone on in this country. The Americans thought we would collapse by 11 or 14 or 15. They thought so, and they did their work. In a lot of instances, we have collapsed. Tell me one sector in Nigeria that is working.
Dear Arewa, dear Northern Nigeria, this message is for you people. I have been seeing so many prominent Northern voices coming out to say or to castigate and claim that if Kwankwaso support P2B, he cannot come back to the North, blah, blah, blah. You know, saying so many things on social media though. I know that social media is different from reality on ground, because when we see him out there, the crowd are following him. But I'm saying this for posterity's sake, and for those that are thinking along that line, that we have to support a Northerner to take away Tinubu from power. I want you guys to understand something. What you people are creating right now, because when it backfires, you people will remember that you were told, and that not that you were told, that you actually set the trap for the Northern region to fall into it itself. What you people are enabling right now automatically means that there is nothing like Northern Turn in 2031. I hope you guys understand this. I hope you guys understand that Tinubu can finish 2030. God forbid it, that Tinubu can finish to 2031. And Tinubu will instill somebody from the south to replace him. I hope you guys understand. This is what you people are doing right now. Nobody's going to calculate how many years was democracy in the south. Nobody cares about that. Because if you're going to check leadership of the federation called Nigeria, you're not going to start from 1999. Nigeria just started in 1999. Nigeria started in 1960. And if you check the duration of people that have held on to power in the country, from 1960 to 2026, they not have been the majority with power in the country. So the way the game is being played right now, according to Atiku, because all this is centered on Atiku, other Northern leaders have understood this. You can't see any other Northern leaders coming out to contest. It's just Atiku. And they want to carry Arewa and put like it is Atiku's turn or it's another turn. No. Because what you people are doing now, you're about to fall for a trap set by Tinubu, so that in 2031, when they bring in a southern candidate and they rig the southern candidate to replace Tinubu, you cannot cry. You cannot complain. Why? Because you, at your time, pushed a northerner to contest when it was the turn of the south. You actively campaigned, you actively pushed him, and he contested in 2 straight goals. So there is nobody that is going to come out in 2031 and say it is the turn of the north. This is what you're enabling right now, dear Arewa. It is better Arewa voices call Atiku to order now. Arewa call Atiku to order and tell him to drop his personal ambition. His ambition should not supersede the ambition of the North. Because what he is doing right now is setting a trap that power might not, knowing fully well the capability of the man called Bola Tinubu, power will not come back to the North in 2031. Because you're fighting him and fighting his region now. There's a growing sentiment in the South that this is a turn of the South, and a Northerner is consistently insisting that he must be on the ticket. And the other Northerners are saying the same thing. And in the same breath, the same Northerners are saying that it's Atiku to go now, are still saying that in 2031, power will come back to the North. Is that insanity? Do you think you have more authority to Nigeria and any other region? No. So Arewa, please do not fall for this Atiku trap. This is a selfish ambition of Atiku. Unfortunately, I have to say this. I don't want to come out here and condescend or bring the man's name down. But no, one man's ambition should not supersede the ambition of the region. Because if Atiku is contesting in 2027, tell me why P2B should not contest in 2031. Tell me why P2B should not contest in 2035. Tell me why Southerners should not contest in 20... It is unfair. In 2019, everybody left it for the North. The two key players, Buhari and Atiku. As it has always been. It has always meant to be. So please, don't fall for the Atiku trap. Kwankwaso contested in 2023. And in wisdom, he has understood that even that 2023 I contested was a bad thing. Because it was not actually the turn of the North. I made a mistake. I am now ready to come down and work with the most strongest politician from the South. Let's form a base and take back power from these criminals in office and unite and begin to fix Nigeria. Then in 2031, the North can now come out and say it is our turn and not present somebody viable, maybe like a Kwankwaso or somebody else. But Atiku, knowing that he's at his exit door, want to anyone. Northern turn is contesting, Southern turn is contesting. In fact, there's nothing like Northern or Southern turn. It's always Atiku turn. It has to end. Somebody has to tell him this respectfully, please, not by insult or by shading. Respectfully, he has to understand. A time comes in a man's life when you know that you cannot chase, and not every goal you chase will be accomplished. You take it up as a man and move on. It doesn't change your greatness. The word is enough for the wise. Arewa.
Good day to viewers all over the world and welcome back to Local Journal. You see, the quest to fix Nigeria and to make Nigeria great seems like it's only a few amongst Southerners that are pushing for it. I don't know what is wrong with the Northerners and the Northern youth especially. I don't know the reason why you would allow your people to brainwash you with religion and ethnic bigotry. The thing you see is this: you can obviously see that Nigeria is not working, but because of tribalism and your religiosity, because of your uncontrolled bias for religion, you don't want your country to work. You know that this person you are presenting does not mean well for this country and doesn't have what it takes to make this country a great one. But for the very fact that he's your tribesman and he's from the same religion as you, as yours or whatsoever, you're supporting him. This is it. There is no way a country can succeed when the citizens are myopic in their thinking. There is no way you want a better Nigeria, yet you still push this ember of tribalism and religiosity around and all. There is no way you want a great country for yourself and you see someone who is from the north who is more qualified than your brother, but by the very fact that he's from the north, you want him to go there and become the president regardless of whether he performs or not. The thing is this: the bulk of the suffering whichever administration that comes in today brings forth is going to be suffered by the north. This is what you fail to understand, because your population is more. You're giving birth to children that you cannot take care of. The insecurity issue we're facing in this country today is as a result of the children, the uncontrollable number of children that you give birth to, thinking that the country or they will fend for themselves, or maybe manna will come down from heaven and you'll be able to take care of these children. This is the reason why insecurity is going on daily basis, and that's the reason why the South is very ready now and forever to say they can go on their own and they don't want to be with the North. But the North are insisting they don't want to part ways with the South. Why? Because they believe that if they part way with the South, that means their future is gone. Everything about the North will go into extinction. They know that they cannot stand on their own, and they've done all manner of gibberish. They've done all manner of nonsense to cause this nation stagnation, but yet they still don't want to learn from their past mistakes. Why can't a region be as much as greedy as this, that you cannot even think about the future of your children? You can't even think about posterity. You can't even think about that years to come. All you think about is now and what serves your purpose of religiosity and attaining or maybe getting eternal paradise that you've never even seen whatsoever. And that's the reason why you guys are fanning this ember of insecurity in the country and causing chaos in this country, because of God knows why. I don't even really get. Now we are creating a force that will ensure that the right man becomes the president, but you guys are still there, gearing up to be a stumbling block to the success Nigerians are anticipating to achieve come 2027. Like I said, you are not doing anybody a favor voting in the right person. Rather, you are doing yourself the favor. If you fail to vote in the right person, the person that is going to suffer it is still going to be you. That is just it. I could remember those times of former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, how Nigerians were offering arms to the less privileged, especially those ones coming from the northern part of the country, and passing around and all of that. Understand, people give the leftover of what they had to them because they had in surplus, and people's life were a little bit were comfortable to some little extent that time, because life was very much affordable then in Nigeria, not unlike now that the cost of living is unbearable and skyrocketing. You can see that nobody would even want to offer any arms, or anybody would want to kind of offer assistance to anybody again. Why? Because things are very hard for everyone now. And who is the cause of this whole hardship going on? It's because of the North. The North brought this government on all Nigerians, and they brought Buhari's government on all Nigerians as well. I know it was a collective mistake to vote in late President Muhammadu Buhari, but the presidency of Tinubu was a sole mistake of the Northerner, and that is the thing. The thing is this: you still want to make this mistake of 2023 and 2015. You want to vote in your own person because you feel like he's from your region, and regardless of how he performs, you don't really mind. You just want your person to be known as the president of the country. That is just what you're concerned about. What is the equity? Where is the sense of judgment and sense of that rationality in all these things that you people are doing? There is no way you continue to do things like this and continue to bring nothing but insecurity to the nation, and you want the nation to still be won. No, that is the thing. If you like, vote for Peter Obi, and if you like, don't vote for him. If you like, do whatever you want to do. If you like, vote for Atiku, whom has been contesting for the longest, and people know his antecedent, and people know that he will never make a good president. A president that was able to retract what he said on X over a Christian girl, Deborah, that was unalived by these groups of hooligans, all in the name of religion. He took down the text because he never wanted to be in the bad book of these people, under the pretext that he doesn't support, and came out to debunk the fact that he was never the one that posted it, just for his own political career whatsoever, exchanging rationality for selfish interest and personal bargain. This is the kind of person you want to make the president of this country. There is no way this man can fit in being the president of this country, and the earlier we embrace and make peace with this, the better for us. And if eventually any mistake is done and this man is made the president, I think Nigeria is doomed. That's just what I have to say. Drop what you think about this in the comment section, and if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe to the channel.